microtransactions, and
DRM.
Downloadable content.
What's up, gamers? Welcome to Gamer Rant. I know, another Mortal Kombat video. I was debating on doing an epic or a Mortal Kombat, so I'll probably do an epic one tomorrow or maybe right after this. I don't really know. Mortal Kombat developer NetherRealms responds to accusations of workplace toxicity, crunch culture. I'm also going to be giving you my quick thoughts and opinions on the whole 6K microtransactions. I know I'm a little late on that, but there's a reason why. I'll get to it. So, Mortal Kombat developer NetherRealm Studios has said that it's actively looking into the recent wave of reports online alleging toxic work conditions and unhealthy sustained crunch culture within the studio. That's pretty much the gist of the article, because the rest of it just rehashes the accusations within of itself. Now, the problem that I inherently have with this is, well, this would be like Bill Cosby coming out when he was first being accused of drugging women, so on and such forth, and he got in front of the camera and he was like, you know what, I've heard the allegations and the accusations from these women, and I just want to let you know I'm looking into it. And so basically Bill Cosby investigating himself. Pretty fucking stupid. So that's how I ultimately look at this, and there's really only two possible outcomes that I could ultimately see from NetherRealms. One is they do something kind of like what BioWare did, where they admit that, yes, this took place, this is a problem, we're fixing it, or they fixed it. I can't quite remember which excuse they used. Or they're going to go down the area of Randy Pitchford and disgruntled employees. So we will ultimately see that. Now, if you're probably already familiar with, obviously, the 6K microtransaction claim comes from a Reddit post where it was like 3K plus hours to grind or 6K plus dollars to purchase all microtransactions. Or I think that only included the skins and maybe the characters. But in any case, 6K microtransactions. Now, ironically, Ed Boon actually tweeted that that was inaccurate, that was poorly researched, and in Mortal Kombat, you can unlock everything like you have been able to unlock everything in previous Mortal Kombat games. Now, when I first saw this, an article, a video, which I think was from Yong Yang, about the Reddit post, I took it with a grain of salt. The reason why I took it with a grain of salt is, well, let's use an actual example. It's going to take you 3K plus hours to grind everything. I want you to imagine how many hours it's going to take you to grind in order to buy or spend 6K on all of the items. The reason being is how the store is set up. They're selling 5 items at any given time. The most amount of skins I've seen is 3, with the least being 2 sold at any given time. All 5 items are on a timer, so they switch out after a specific time. I think it's 18, but it could be 20 or 24. I'm not really sure. So you're honestly, I don't really see how somebody would go from 3K hours of grinding to a shit ton of fucking hours to wait and not even actually know if all 60 plus the total amount of character skins will cycle through the store itself. That's a lot of waiting. Seemed relatively illogical that anyone would do that, all right? So that's why I ultimately took it with a grain of salt. Now, when it comes to Ed Boon, I took his claim or response to it also with a grain of salt. The reason being is what he states is that you can unlock everything in Mortal Kombat 11 as you have been able to in previous Mortal Kombat games. All right, let's put that to the test. How do you unlock Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon? Oh, yeah, that's right. You have to use your wallet to unlock Shao Kahn. And yes, that also included pre-ordering, which is still your fucking wallet. All right? Let's travel back to Mortal Kombat 9. There was Scarlet, a brand new Mortal Kombat. So the first time they tried to, well, they didn't try, they did. And a lot of dumbasses fell for it, including myself, because this is really before I started finding DLC and microtransactions a really big issue in my gaming realm. And what was that? Oh, that's right. You had to unlock it using your wallet. There was some also classic skins as well. So there's that on you. So this blatant bullshit lie that you can unlock everything in Mortal Kombat 11 like you've been able to unlock in previous Mortal Kombat games is a blatant fucking lie. You cannot unlock any DLC characters or any skins that are specific to DLC from older ones by simply playing the fucking game. You're a fucking liar, Ed Boon. Get the fuck out of here. Now, next up, oh wait, we're still on the same subject. So, here's how I inherently look at this, other than what I mentioned, is I think what the article was basically saying is that the 6K comes from, there's a total of 60 skins from the each individual character. So I think they added all of those up, and then of course we can take that number and multiply it by how much it would cost you in real money to purchase a skin. In this case, the crystals, which would basically be $5 or $4.99. And they basically added that up, and there's where we get the 6K along with the other, I'm assuming, added microtransactions. So, but like I said, I don't think anyone is going to sit there and wait for 5 items to cycle in and out in order to try to purchase everything. That would be a larger grind than just grinding in the shitty grinding version of the game. But here's some things. So let's just go out on a limb here, because the one thing Ed Boon didn't say, and this was something that somebody mentioned on his Twitter response, was that it's kind of funny that he just deflected or negated this, but he didn't actually mention the exact amount of microtransactions. Like, what's the actual total amount? Now, one could probably sit here and argue, and there probably will be diehard fans. Well, you know, he's Ed Boon. He's got to answer to the Warner Brothers games, so on and such forth. They don't want that kind of negative information out there, etc., etc., etc. I still think that's bullshit, and that's a bullshit excuse. So I went through and I looked at the varying characters and their skins to see just exactly how unique they were. And basically how I did this is, because there's basically 10 rows where there's pretty much 10 that look similar to each other. And I would transition from one to the other, back and forth. I'd focus on the lower half, and I would see how much of the detail changed, how much of the design changed. Same with the upper. The one thing that I noticed is that there's not a lot of unique actual skins. A lot of them are just variants, recolors, and maybe they have some extra accessories, or the accessories slightly change shape. To me, that isn't a unique design. That's basically the concept of cut, copy, paste, recolor, so on and such forth. So Casey Cage has a total of 5 unique designs. So this means that she inherently has 55 variants, which are just basically recolors or accessories that have been removed, but the pants are the same design, the shirt's the same design, so on and such forth. Jax also has 5, Scorpion 2, Noob 4, Baraka 2, Cage 3, Sonya 3, Raiden 4, Jackie 4, Sub-Zero 2, Kano 2, Cable 2, Liu Kang 2, Katana 2, Kung Lao 2, Jade 2, Scarlet 4, Aaron Black 3, Devora 2, Kodokan 2, Gearus 3, Collector 3, Centurion 3, Frost 3, Shao Kahn 2. So again, those are the total unique designs where they do not inherently copy something from the previous design. Now, there were a few of them, I will admit, when I looked at it, it did look like they copied the design, but I couldn't 100% tell, so I gave them the benefit of the doubt and said that they were a unique design within of itself. So I will admit that there were some designs in there that, looking at them, I wasn't able to truly tell whether or not there was some kind of design. It looked sketchy to me, but I went with benefit of the doubt and I counted it as a unique design. Now, the point of why I'm doing this is this has to do with a video that I'm working on, and it's where I'm actually going to follow the store, taking screenshots of the store as these items cycle in and out. And the idea is to see how many times a specific character or a specific costume will rotate. Will I be able to actually tell whether or not all of the skins for any one character, which to me would prove that all character skins will eventually cycle through, which then means that the claim of 6K is inherently true, but Ed Boon would also be true. You can unlock them or you can spend 6K on them. So it's one of those situations where, and you know, this is the funny thing too, because when it comes to a lot of articles that talked about Ed Boon's response, none of them, they all pretty much sucked his dick and went with what he said. But nobody actually looked into this, but like, hey, you know, we should try to investigate this. Let's check out the store daily, see if even all of their alternate skins cycle through for particular characters, or if it's just, you know, just a few of them, like 25%, 75%, 50%, whatever the case may be, or is it 100%? Because then that would mean that the claim is inherently true, but like I stated already, still ridiculous anyone would do it, because there would be a grind to do that as well, which obviously would be a lot larger of a grind than just, you know, 3K plus grinding for the gameplay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video in some fashion or form. And remember, gamers, if you're not voicing your thoughts and concerns about the bullshit in gaming, and yes, the bullshit lies that Ed Boon states, and apparently NetherRealms investigating themselves, that'll be interesting to see how they put that on themselves. You just might be a part of the motherfucking problem.